Day 697. Got up this morning for the long run, and it was one of those mornings where you wake up and you consider going back to bed. I'm not sure if it was just lack of sleep or it was cold, but my body was telling me, go back to bed, go lay down. It took me about 5 minutes to kind of stretch and just wake up. Normally I can get up and be like, okay, group run, gotta go meet up with the group. There's incentive there, right, to go. And it just was not happening today. But I did tell my buddy Mark that we could run, and he was asking me if we could run today. And so I said, yeah, be there at 7. Here's the place. Drop the pin on GPS so we could get there. And he showed up, and so I was like, okay, unless he texts me and says, hey man, for whatever reason I can't make it, then I'm gonna go back to bed. So unless I get that, then I'm just gonna go. So I got there, and he was there. The first thing I do is I get out the car, and he's like, man, it is cold outside. And from when I looked on the weather, it said it's 40 degrees, but feels like 37. So definitely a chilly morning. But Jason also showed up right before the run, so we got to chat for about the first half mile. And he's met Mark before too, so we were all excited that everyone made it. Or everyone from Thursday, and then we're talking about how who's going how far. I think Jason was only running 6 to 8, and then I had told Mark we could run 8, and then I'll come back and add on 4. And he's like, okay, that sounds good. And we were cruising, just kept talking the whole time. Got a little bit about his family, how they're doing, how work's been, how we got into the shoe stuff, and then even got in how much he was making. I was curious because he's like, yeah, my bonus was like 120K, and I'm like, what were you doing where your bonus was 120K? I think he even said 240K at one point. So that was very interesting. He's like, yeah, it helped me pay off the car, helped pay off student debt. And I was like, yeah, that would help. And then we came back, and I was like, all right, man. And we had noticed on the canal out that there was cars on the far side, the side we normally don't take. And so we were waiting. We were trying to look at him like, what's going on over there? We didn't see anything. And on the way back, Michael from the group had stopped us and said, hey, just to let you know, both sides of the canal are blocked off. And we said, okay, thanks for the heads up. Do you know why? And he's like, I don't, but just, you're either gonna take another street. He said Lafayette and Indian School back down. And so I said, okay, well, we'll go there. It's another half mile up, and we'll check it out. We got there. Sure enough, both sides of the canal are blocked. There's police officers there with a car. And so we're waiting for the thing to cross, and I said, I don't want to go unless the signal allows us to. I've already got a fine like that 20 years ago, and I don't want to deal with that again. So we waited. Thank you, puppy. We waited for the signal. Took a few minutes because it was a busy intersection. And then one of the girls, Ashley, had caught up to us. She said, do you guys know what's going on? Or do you know how to get back? I said, yeah, I know how to get back. And thankfully, I used to drive pizza delivery in that area. So we took one of the side streets, which pretty much ran parallel to the canal for the most part. I mean, it's a little bit more of a straight shot, and the canal was a little bit more of a roundabout, if you want to. So the streets went this way, and the canal went out, like kind of curved back, almost think like a bow and arrow or a bow. Okay, come on, calm down. You're okay. So I said, yeah, just follow us. We're going pretty similar pace. So she went with us, and we got to 56th Street, cut back in, got to the canal, finished the last mile, and stopped. And I told him, like, yeah, the group's gonna meet up here at this little restaurant so you can hang out. And I was like, but I'm gonna take about another half hour. And so I did the run. The plan was to kind of pick it up from there. So that way for the race next week, I can kind of tell myself mentally, I know you're tired, your legs are a little bit fatigued, but you can still pick up the last 4 miles. And so I tried to get after it, and the first one was only a 7:01. So mile 9 was 7:01. And I was thinking, like, okay, it's not there today, so just keep the effort. But then it just kind of clicked over, and I dropped down to 6:40, 6:35, and 6:30 to close. So it felt good. Let me see your toy. Let me see your toy. And then the other part was right when we had stopped at the road, the intersection where the canal was blocked, my heart rate switched over again from the time. And so when I hit click to go, it just took it off the heart rate. And so it took a half mile for me to notice. And so I know we were a little bit short. And so when we had stopped the drop mark off, it's like, okay, that should be close to 8, but I've got 7.8. What do you have? It's like, I got 8.4. I'm like, okay. Well, my watch is half off, but mentally I wanted my watch to show 12. So of course, being stubborn, I did 12 on my watch, but it was about 12 and a half overall. But I'm happy with my effort. I don't feel bad today. I feel good. I'm glad that I was able to close. It just took a mile to warm up. So I need to remember that for the race next week. That when I'm ready to turn on the closing pace, I need to give myself a half mile to warm up into it for it to respond. And now Jennifer wants to go shopping a little bit, so we're gonna go into the marketplace. And then my dad's in town, so depending on when he's available, we might meet up. And then just gonna come back, hang out, and that's gonna be the day. Hopefully we get to relax a little bit, but we'll see. And so, run your life with health and happiness, and have a great day.